So, oh my fucking god! Every time I try to talk! Can I talk now?
Possibly.
So anyway, the way the attacks in this game work is that, basically every character ID has 3 attacks.
Yes.
Total. And I think it's like randomly selected which one you get to choose in every turn in a fight. But I think it gives you a higher chance to use ones that haven't already been used in a fight. But
Yes.
so like if you use the first attack, it would give you a higher chance to not reuse that attack in the next turn.
Yes.
And basically it works like a streamlined version of the library games combat, where they don't have like collectible cards or anything you can use, but basically each attack has a certain number of coins
Yeah.
which do different things. Like basically, let's say you use this attack on.
Let's slay.
Let's say you use this attack on an opponent that has 1 coin, okay,
Maybe.
and the opponent has 3 coins. Basically, you enter a clash, depending on the speed. If their opponent's speed is too high, your attack becomes unopposed, and they just get to attack first if they weren't already attacking that guy. So, like, if they were attacking a different character, and you use a different character than the one they're attacking to attack them, but your speed is lower, they'll still attack the other guy instead of you being able to interrupt them.
Oh no, it's just one of those weird turn-based RPGs.
It's kind of turn-based, but it really doesn't feel like
card
it.
games.
It's not a card game, and it really doesn't feel turn-based because everything happens all at once. So, like, you select all of your character's actions in a surprisingly a fast way.
Oh, so it's like that game that you played like maybe 2 years ago, where it's this
The one you
weird,
said
like,
was too anime looking?
too anime looking. No, the one that was like stick figures or something, and you like,
No.
could pick moves, and there was like a Sans character, and
No.
and you were like, oh no, there's a time limit on this. I gotta do this.
No. Well, kind of, but, like, not really. Because you only have 3 moves per character instead of, like, an entire board, you know? But basically, it's not as complicated as it seems, because for most of the game, you could just press the win rate button.
Win rate.
Yeah, that's like a button that automatically assigns attacks to enemies based on what's most likely to win clashes. So you don't have to really think for most of the game up to Chapter 4. Which is when you actually have to start figuring out how things work. And basically, not only do you have to select all of your attacks first before you actually do anything, the biggest reason it doesn't feel turn-based is because everything happens at once. And what I mean by that is that, so let's say you selected the start button after you select all your actions, every single attack goes off at once, along with all the enemies. So it's this giant battlefield of, like, people attacking each other in the background, and whenever one of your characters does a particularly high roll or a big move, the camera zooms in on them temporarily in their clash.
Into the biggest dickus.
Yes. But it all happens at once, which is a really cool thing to see, because it's just completely incomprehensible to actually be able to see anything. And you can just kind of look in on specific battles that are happening per turn. And that's really fun.
That's pretty yummy.
And basically there are some things you can do. Like if you click on a character portrait icon, it'll switch their first slot attack, because there's 2 that you can choose from every turn of theirs. Yeah. And it'll change the first slot to a guard skill, which is a special skill that each character can have that are like there's a couple different kinds, like Power Guard, which I don't really know what it does.
How world.
That's different. But basically there's guard and there's like clashable guards, which actually do attacks if an opponent attacks them.
So it's an offensive guard. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a parry.
It's kind of like a parry, but like it's kind of like if you had a parry and then
kind of like.
and then you
It's
had a
Kyle.
Can I call? I'm recording right now.
I'm trying to fit this in the freezer.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Back to our smolts.
Each character ID has a bunch of different things you can do, and some IDs are built for specific things. Like there's a couple of different status effects, which they are surprisingly creative with.
Yes.
For example, my favorite.
What she said.
You're what she said.
My favorite status effect to use is Rupture.
That's good. That's what she said.
How can you
That's
stop?
what she liked.
Oh, well, you totally talked about this.
Yeah. But there's also
It's a
one
Kyle.
called Sinking, which does something really unique. But basically, there's this sanity system
Alexa, turn on downstairs lights. Oh,
where
sorry.
That's down.
every time you do a clash, you use coins, okay?
100%.
And these coins,
Holy fuck! That's way better.
And then you know you can tap that light over there to make it brighter behind you.
This one? Is it gonna be that much brighter?
Oh, any of the metal on there you can tap.
Yeah.
It should be a little better for bright, basically.
That's way better.
So-
Epic.
Jaden.
So,
So the way
Ryan?
that these attacks work is that your attack has a certain number of coins, and every time you start a clash, you roll to it, you flip these coins, and if it lands on heads, you do more damage and have bigger numbers, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good shit.
Now there's a sanity system where all of your characters start a battle at zero sanity, which is the default. And when you're at 0 sanity, the chance for a heads or tails flip on a coin is exactly 50-50. Okay?
Maybe.
Sanity can go up to 45 or down to -45 max. And if you have the max sanity of 45, you have a 95% chance to roll heads on coins. This is actually a really cool mechanic, so it's not complete randomness.
Yeah.
But you gain sanity by winning clashes or killing enemies,
You have to.
and you lose sanity through the opposite. Okay.
Yes.
Now, sometimes you can get really unlucky on the first turn of a battle, but that's very rare. But basically, let's say you had a 1-coin attack skill, and your enemy had 3 coins on their skill. If your attack skill got a higher number than them, their first coin would break, and they'd be unable to use that attack, that part of the attack. And if you break all 3, they're completely unable to attack. But let's say you broke 2 of their attacks, but their final coin gets a higher number than yours. It'll break your attack, and they'll attack you, but it will only use the last coin that they had.
That's a tact.
So anyway, the reason I'm explaining this is recently they introduced a mechanic called unbreakable coins,
Yes.
which are red coins that are really, really powerful. Because, as the name implies, they are unbreakable. So if an opponent wins a clash against them, they don't break. And you still get to use the attack, but it's like a guaranteed tails attack.
Maybe.
So it's weaker, but you still get to use it. Okay? Are you listening?
I'm listening.
So, this is all, I'm just telling you this for context and how overpowered the guy I used to beat the crazy guy was.
Yeah.
So this guy was basically actually a fanboy of the main character of the last game.
Literally.
That was this ID. And it's actually a surprisingly horrific story behind this guy that
Yeah.
I did not expect. Because every time you level up a ID enough, you get their backstory. Or you get a scene out of their life that you get to see. And see how the characters develop
That
in different worlds.
reminds me a lot of TV shows, like right when they're about to kill someone off, they give you like their entire freaking backstory. Also reminds me of Demon Slayer.
Well,
how they
it's not exactly-
once you kill, like right before they kill like a really big demon or whatever. They
Yeah,
give
I
you
know,
the
I know.
entire demon's backstory. It's
I know.
like, oh,
It's not like
okay,
that.
well
It's-
they're gonna show all their cards.
It's kind of like that, but like you get a split scene of, and it's some random important moment in this character's life, and that's it. It's not like a full backstory or anything. It just gives you just enough hints to think about what this character's life is like in this world. But it doesn't just outright tell you everything about them.
Of course not. That'd be too easy.
Yeah. But anyway, for this one, the character was from the Index, which is one of the fingers that was the religious one.
The finger,
With the prescripts they'd get and have to follow orders like that, you know?
yaw.
And basically, that's actually a really cool game mechanic for this character where every turn he gets a unique passive status effect that is a prescript, and when you fulfill the requirements on it, he gets stronger, basically. So, like, and they're actually pretty simple, like attacking an enemy that's marked by the prescript,
Oh, hi, Mark.
or using an attack marked by it.
Yeah.
Something like that. And if you get the stack of buffs based on it to 9 by getting a passive called Unlock, which you get after a certain amount of prescripts fulfilled, and you get Unlock 3, which is the only way you can get to 9 of this stack, you get access to the most overpowered attack I've ever seen in this game so far. Which is basically a weaker copy of the signature attack of the main character of the last game. and it's called. I'm not gonna say what it's called. It's kind of cringy, but anyway, it has 8 coins.
Is that a lot?
Not even a single boss up to this point, and apparently not even a single boss up to the time this was introduced has had that many coins on a single attack ever, or even on most of all of their attacks combined. That's like the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in this game, when the minimum damage was like 80, which is huge.
What do coins do again?
Coins, like, if they're your attacks, the amount of attacks you have
Oh.
on a
So,
single attack.
so the boss is really fucking hard.
No, I'm talking about the character I got that I beat the boss with.
So that's how you beat it. You have 8 coins.
No.
8 turns.
I actually had to do a lot of setup for that because it takes a lot to get to the point where you can use that. But, oh my god, I've never felt so happy in my life seeing this fucking asshole guy get absolutely decimated halfway across the screen 3 different times in one attack.
You decimated his asshole.
This single attack literally juggled him for almost a minute straight. Which is ridiculous. And for this attack, the guy this attack has the guy you're using pull out 9 different weapons to use individually.
Oh my God.
And this combo gets so fucking ridiculous. It's like you're watching a pro fighting game player absolutely decimating someone. What are you doing?
I'm trying to make this be more consistent because it's just all over the place, showing like different colors. It's making you orange. So I'm trying to get it to make
Tell me when you're ready to keep talking, though.
Okay. I just want it to give me light. Okay, what if I put it on like a pause of this?
Oh
That
god,
is
it's AI.
the most cringe thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's the stuff my dad watches.
Oh no, I'm taking a picture of
No! Oh god, look at his fingers! Look at his fingers!
this. That is so bad, but you know what? It's bright and that's fine with me.
But anyway, just to give you an idea of how overpowered this character is at this point, each stack of this prescript buff that you fulfill, Jaden,
Yeah.
gives you +1 clash power, which is a lot when you have a 9 stack of it. Because the 9 stack is actually a different buff from the prescript. So you have these 3 different buffs from the 3 stages of unlocking, which give you 1 clash power, 2 clash power, and 3 extra clash power, all at once if you have unlocked 3. And then on top of that, you have the 9 stacks of bullshit that let you use the overpowered attack that individually give you more power. And then he has a mid-battle kind of transformation second phase thing where I don't know what the conditions are for this activating, but sometimes half his face will fall off and start bleeding, and then he gains 3 clash power and then -3 defense power.
So it's basically me.
So basically, at this point, he had such a ridiculous level of power that I took that guy's HP from about 95%, which, for reference, I had done about 1,000 damage to him at that point, and he has at 95% still,
Yeah.
which is absolutely ridiculous. And then, this guy took him from that to 50%, and he was doing so much damage that it went beyond the threshold of where you're supposed to finish the fight, because he's supposed to only go down to half HP, so it started doing 0 damage because it was kind of bugged out, and it kept going for like another half a minute after that. And I was cackling seeing that. And then I was vindicated when I saw this ID's backstory scene, because I knew why he was able to do that. Because basically his backstory scene for this character specifically was that he was an extremely high-ranking member of the Index, which you've never actually seen before. Because in the previous games, the highest-ranking members of the Index you ever see are messengers, which are really powerful, but like they're basically the enforcers. They're the goons. And this guy was like a super high rank. And the whole scene is him interrogating someone in a really, really weird way. Like, he's like asking him about his family and stuff, but like not in the threatening him way, but more like a, oh, I sympathize way. And he talks about, the way he talks is one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen in my life. But he's talking about, oh, I had a daughter. I have a daughter too, you know. But I had to seal her in the time vault because I accidentally stabbed her puppy. And then I had to seal that one away in the time vault where time is stopped forever.
What the hell?
Until she's finished her homework.
What's her homework?
I don't know, but I don't think I want to. With that being an offhanded comment mentioned by him in like a fond voice.
Yeah, what the wiener.
Yeah. And the guy being interrogated is most likely a high-ranking gang member, but even he's like, holy fucking shit. This place is definitely horrible, but that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, so basically the guy being interrogated goads him into stabbing him, because of course he does. And then you see a whole gallery of people that this fucking monster has had with, like, a whole... Even kids...
With a hole.
Even kids are, like, chained up there. You want to know why? Because he wants to have...
Jeffrey Epstein.
No, actually. Because he wants to be prepared as possible for any weird orders the prescripts give him. That might require a specific kind of person. So he has them all stored there like Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all.
God, yeah, but that was his backstory, and that's where it ends.
Oh my god. And then he dies.
No, you don't actually get
Oh.
to see the full story of these IDs. You just basically get a snippet of their lives. But yeah, that's the guy I unlocked, the psycho guy. And he is referenced as being a star of the city in this backstory sequence. Do you remember when I told you about that? From the library game?
What did you say?
He's a star of the city, which is part of the threat ranking system for random bullshit that happens.
No,
So,
I don't remember.
Basically, random bullshit phenomena is categorized into different levels, with urban myth being something that's like kind of known and a few people have been affected by it, for example.
Oh.
And then there's urban legend, which is something kind of dangerous that quite a few people have been affected by, like a serial killer or something, okay?
Yeah.
And then there's urban plague, which is something incredibly
jeez.
dangerous that is basically able to kill hundreds, at least. And then
And
there's-
everyone knows someone who's affected by it. Like
No,
cigarettes.
no. Actually, this is like a very much more localized. It's like if there was a serial killer who killed the entire population of a very small town of like 50 people. Like very notable, but not like a huge incident, you know.
Oh.
And then there's urban nightmare, which is like 9/11. It's like on the level of 9/11 in relation to cultural impact. So like
Oh.
an urban nightmare level threat is something that would basically cause mass chaos in an entire district.
And it would change everything.
No.
Well,
That's-
it would change a bunch of like rules and shit.
No, actually. This
No?
is like a level of just barely manageable by like grade 3 fixers. And like
Oh
a
my
grade
God.
1 would still annihilate it pretty easily after like a somewhat long battle, but like they're not extremely dangerous. That's reserved for stars of the city, which are the absolute limit of bullshit that the head would tolerate, which is the government. And these guys are usually absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like each of the finger gangs are all rated as star of the city level threats. Collectively, as a whole, they're all equivalent to 1 star of the city level threat. All of these gangs combined.
Yum.
And for reference, there's only 1 grade above that, which the only time we ever see something of that level is, ironically enough, the library from the second game. Because apparently, eventually the library from the second game becomes so powerful that the head has to directly intervene to teleport them out of the city. And to the outskirts. And that's where that game ends.
T-Corp.
No. The head, which are the government. But anyway...
H-Corp.
But yeah, that's the main status of the danger level of things. And for reference, this guy from this backstory was star of the city level by himself. Meaning, he could probably fight one of the color fixer people pretty evenly. Which are like the super overpowered guys.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, like he could probably fight one of those roughly evenly. So, I like that they actually...
Chamber.
I like that they actually transferred his power into the actual character instead of having it be super weak or something, or being balanced. That just made him completely fucking ridiculous to match the lore. You know?
And that's how you beat the boss?
Yeah. And even with that, I was just horrified at how long the boss survived that insane onslaught, too. Like, he actually somehow survived for like a good half a minute of it without getting to that threshold of 50%. I honestly think he could have actually just straight up killed him at that point if it wasn't locked to gameplay reasons, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. But after that, the immediate following scene is this boss literally killing all of your guys like a dozen times over at that point, so... And the thing is, this is actually where the first real consequence for the main character happens. Because his whole thing is that he can bring all the other guys, the 12 guys, back to life, right?
Oh, this is the clock guy.
Yeah, you're playing as the clock guy, Dante.
Yeah. You're Dante's Inferno?
Yes. Ironically enough, there's also a color fixer with you who just doesn't do anything until Chapter 6, apparently. And his name is Virgilius.
His name is Virgin?
No, like Virgil from Dante's Inferno.
That's pretty funny, actually.
He actually has a whole manga made after him.
Oh, God.
Written by the guys who made
Autism,
this.
I mean anime.
No, it's not actually an anime. But if they ever did make an anime for this, I would actually watch it because of how good the writing always is for all of their stuff. And I know it wouldn't be a normal anime at all.
You should make it.
No, they are going to make one. They actually
They
have
are?
plans for it. That's actually one of the biggest reasons they made this third game.
Oh.
Is to make the money to make that. And I would literally pay to watch that because of how good the world building is from all of their games so far. But yeah.
Yummy.
And then after that, there is some of the most disgusting eldritch horror I have ever seen in my life. So basically, the whole reason you're at the place you get ambushed by the purple guy from FNAF, no, I'm just kidding,
God.
is
How's
because it is a branch of Lobotomy Corporation in the Great Lake. And
The Grey Lake?
The Great Lake, the whole Jigsaw Lake area thing with all the different colors.
Oh.
And basically, the whole goal of the game is to find these magic tree artifacts that were left behind in abandoned Lobotomy Corp branches.
Oh my god, I know why the lighting is bullshit, because this freaking screen turned off.
You just noticed that?
I just
Oh
noticed
god.
that.
Anyway.
I want to figure out how to make that not happen.
But anyway,
How do I use
it's
this?
fine. I'll just tell you if it turns off again.
No, I need
Yeah.
to make sure it doesn't do that. Display mirroring picture. Picture backlight.
Don't mess with it, please. Just. But anyway,
I'm trying to find the. Okay, maybe I shouldn't mess with this. I just want to make. Oh, sleep timer. Fucking A. Make it 90 minutes.
okay, so
Okay.
Okay, so I learned through the game at this point about a lot more about how these Great Lakes work. So basically, each lake area has a whale, and these aren't like normal fucking whales. They're like eldritch abominations that are called whales.
Why do you classify everything as an eldritch abomination?
Because the first one you see, which is the least disturbing, is a massive hand covered in chains with holes all throughout it that birth these creatures that attack you that are also attached to chains.
So it's a figurative whale, not like they're not actual
No,
whales.
They're called whales because of the whole ocean theme, and
Oh
because
my
this chapter is based on the character who is based on Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So basically, the character, each chapter has a character. It's mostly 4, where they have to overcome some kind of trauma about them, and this one is by far has the most visceral story out of all of them so far. So basically, the character this chapter centers on is called Ishmael, and
That's familiar.
she is
She?
yeah.
What the fuck?
What do you mean she? Why do you? Is that not a concept that can exist for you?
I thought it was I thought that was a dude.
What do you mean?
I thought Ishmael was a dude.
I don't know.
You don't know?
They change up a lot of stuff about the lore of the original stories these characters come
What,
from.
does she have titties?
No, they aren't that kind of company.
You're never that
In
kind
fact-
of company. What the fuck?
In fact, people got mad because of the lack of that.
I could see that happening.
Even in the most weird IDs for her, they are still surprisingly innocent. Which is, for some reason, this is like the one topic this company won't go into. Like, they'll talk about the most horrific things, like the loss of your sense of self and becoming an eldritch abomination as your mind slowly, literally corrodes itself, but they won't talk about weird shit.
Never look up this game and R34 together.
I don't think I should, yeah.
You don't even know what that is, do you?
You told me, remember?
I did?
You showed me.
I did?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was some kind of weird porn thing.
But what game was it?
No, you showed me that website.
It's not a website, it's a term.
What?
It's a.
Well, I remember someone showed me a website called that. Was
Okay,
fucking weird.
so basically, R34 stands for Rule 34, which.
Is that the furry one?
I guess it can be for some parts of it, but not. No, it's not really what it. Okay, so when the internet was like made and people were always on it, someone came up with like a list of rules for the internet. And Rule 34 was, if it exists on the internet, there will be pornography of it.
Okay. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they actually had a riot in Korea about this.
About 34.
No, about this character specifically not having any weird shit in the game.
What?
I'm not even kidding. That's actually a thing that happened. There was a riot. People almost attacked the CEO physically over it in Korea. Because they're fucking insane when it comes to these kinds of games.
Did you know Samsung is based in Korea?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's a very Korean name.
I thought it was China.
No. Like, Sung is a very common Korean surname.
What about Sam?
No. It
Saul.
would be like Sam-Sung in Korea. Kind of like... Okay, anyway, back to the game.
That just sounds like Japan, actually.
Back to the game. This character, who this story chapter is based on, they're actually really good with character development here, because her character arc starts all the way back in Kanto 4, which is the 4th chapter. Which is before her arc even happens. And I really like how, even after a character's chapter is complete, they're still relevant, and they still continue growing, and they aren't just left static, like a lot of stories do. Where, like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of stories will have a chapter for one character, and then they just never exist after that, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, this story doesn't do that. And in fact, characters actually still grow, even when their chapter hasn't started yet. Like, there's this one guy called Heathcliff, who is based on Wuthering Heights. I haven't read that book.
That's a book?
Yeah, it's an old book.
It's also a song by Tangerine Dream from 1978.
It's probably based on the book, but basically, I haven't actually read Wuthering Heights, but this game is really good at making you want to read Moby Dick. So after this chapter, so I don't know. But anyway,
maybe you should buy Moby Dick.
Anyway,
Moby's Dick.
He actually starts out like the game butting heads with Ishmael a lot over everything. TV turned off.
Fuck! What the balls? Wet the balls.
Okay, so anyway,
Oh, God.
anyway,
It's so fucking cringe.
basically, this character Heathcliff constantly butts heads with Ishmael over everything, basically. But in Kanto 5, he ends up saving her from something. So, there's a lot of development there. But basically, he's also the guy who stole the hair coupons, by the way.
The guy who butts
Anyway.
with Ishmael.
Anyway, Ishmael's whole thing was that she was kind of one of the more normal people, seemingly. Because some of the characters that you can play as are fucking weird. Like, there's this one who is super edgy and is basically like a Twitter kid, you know?
Oh, God.
She talks almost exclusively in extremely long metaphors and acronyms. Like, she will say an entire sentence as an acronym sometimes. So I've completely given up trying to understand whatever she's saying every time her dialogue boxes appear.
If you know, you know.
She actually, it's so bad that one of the people on the crew has actually become her designated translator. And his name is Sinclair.
These days can't even talk in uncompressed English.
But yeah, very funny. I like how they all have different dynamics like that with each other.
Yeah.
And Sinclair, by the way, is a guy who Kanto 3 was for. And he had a pretty fucked up story, too. but it wasn't anywhere near as bad as the fifth one. But basically, his whole story was about how he used to be a rich kid who had a somewhat normal life, but he was super bored with everything. And then this extremely racist lady came up to him and wanted to be his girlfriend. And she was fucking insane. She was like, she would use the hard C.
Come?
Clankers.
What? Does that even...
So remember how I told you people will sometimes get prosthetics if they're really need the to be able to not eat so that they can make more money and stuff so that they can sell their organs?
Vaguely?
Yeah. Well, this lady Cromer is part of a group called the N Corp Inquisitors, and their whole thing is nailing people, like Jesus style. Like extreme religious purists. No, it really isn't. It's actually really disturbing. But they all hate anyone who uses prosthetics and declares that these people are possessed by literal Satan. And that they all need to be nailed to a cross and then have their organs ripped out or whatever's left.
Wait a minute.
To expose their leftover purity.
So they want to...
They want to kill
put
anyone
more metal in them.
No. They want to kill anyone who uses prosthetics, basically.
Our solution to that is poke more metal into them.
Yes. They're a religious cult. Of course they're going to be hypocrites.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. But anyway, this lady is part of this group, and she's actually the leader, or one of the leaders. And she has the cringiest title I have ever...
Milliliters?
One of the leaders for the group. And she is has one of the cringiest titles I've ever seen on a fictional character.
The milliliter?
No, the one who grips.
The one who grips.
Like the nails, you know? But it's so cringe.
Oh my god.
It's probably the cringiest thing in the entire game.
You know you want her to grip you.
No. That's the only memes I see of this game.
The one.
But anyway,
who grips.
apparently at some point she had a vision of Sinclair becoming some kind of extreme racist, and she really liked him for that. What she was actually doing was she was somehow looking into an alternate idea of him from one of the other worlds I was talking about. You know.
ID.
Yeah, like how I was talking about the other character who I got to use from a different world of the main character.
Campfire cooking in another world.
So the main gimmick of the game is you can summon other versions of the characters you play as to superimpose over them in a fight. That's the whole point. Basically, this character Cromer got to see somehow one of the alternate versions of Sinclair, who was the one in the same school as her.
I've completely lost the thread.
Okay, so basically, this kid was a rich kid, and he was bored, and he existed. And this lady comes up to him saying she knows him, and that he'll become a super mega ultra racist.
And he just does it.
No, the thing is, she wants to make him ultra racist because of that.
So she pegs him?
Actually, I don't know. Considering how she acts towards him, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, oh my god.
Fucking A, man.
But anyway, this basically comes to a head because Sinclair...
Comes to a head? Oh, I didn't know they did that.
No, I'm saying that for a reason, but completely opposite to what you're thinking. Basically, the entirety of Sinclair's rich family, at one point, gets almost their entire bodies replaced with prosthetics because they think it's in fashion. Because rich people in this world are even more insane than in real life. So his entire family got completely replaced. And he started having extreme imposter syndrome issues because of this. Because he would be the only one eating at dinner. Because they were all robots now just staring at him the whole time.
Oh my god.
So because of this, you could already see how he could possibly become racist to clankers.
Yeah.
And, however, he basically refuses to become racist over that, even though he still has minor racist thoughts about them sometimes.
So you meant the hard C.
Oh, you'll see the hard C later. But anyway, because he's not becoming racist fast enough, Cromer decides to do a Mexican Inquisition.
Which is?
Burning his house down and brutally dissecting his family alive in front of him.
The house.
While forcing him to watch.
Wait, he burned down his family too?
She burned his entire house and then brutally dissected his family in front of him. And was like, "Oh, aren't you proud of me?"
The fuck.
And because of that, he was instantly horrifically traumatized, and he just, ironically enough, he actually looks a lot like you if you were blonde. Surprisingly.
Thanks.
But anyway,
If I was blonde.
yeah. After that, the whole chapter is about him basically overcoming the differences between flesh and machine, and he basically decides it doesn't matter whether you're made of flesh or metal, and he ends up killing Cromer, who has become a literal fleshy amalgamation of skin cultures and tissue,
The fuck.
because she was obsessed with flesh.
So
That was chapter 3.
that reminds me of in like the first or second season of like the new Doctor Who, like 2005, where there was this lady who was like the last natural woman in existence, and it was literally just a face.
Oh yeah, I know
Oh,
that one.
skin
I
strips
know
on the
that one. I
fucking-
know that one. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but way bigger and more fat, with like a human face attached to it on the top part. Like it's really grotesque to look at. Basically, that story was one of the least interesting chapters so far.
I can see that, yeah.
No, it was still really good, but it wasn't. But every chapter gets so exponentially better that the last one seems boring in comparison. Even though they're all interesting.
Yummy.
But yeah, that's the third chapter, and I'm going to explain this because I'm going to explain the hard C now.
Let's
So,
see.
basically, I heard this insane boss-sounding theme from the newest chapter, and even though I haven't gotten there yet, I had to know the context, so I've looked up whatever fight this was from specifically, so I wouldn't really spoil too much, and I got spoiled so hard, oh my god. So basically,
That's what
the
she
first
said.
thing I saw when I saw this scene was that this same guy, Sinclair, in chapter 9, has this weird mark on his head, and
It's Demon Slayer.
no, and he doesn't have it before. He hasn't had it up until the point in the game I'm at. And
Oh.
basically, he's being attacked by two overpowered clanker people that each have like 2,000 HP, which is ridiculous.
Yes.
And he basically accidentally summons an ID by himself, of himself, from like 20 years in the future.
What's like an
ID are
card?
IDs are the alternate versions of characters that you summon.
ID's nuts.
Yes. But anyway, you want to know what he summons? He summons Hitler.
He summons you to the jury.
He summons Hitler.
I have jury duty.
Okay. He summons Hitler, Jaden. He becomes Hitler. He literally becomes Clanker Hitler.
Cranka wanka.
Like, he literally becomes so racist, he gets an exactly 40% racism buff against machines.
God.
And he has over 1,000 health.
Only 40%?
40% is fucking ridiculous for this game. That's probably
Oh.
the highest single buff I've ever seen in this game at all. They normally don't even
Wow.
do percentage buffs at all. For anything. It's usually almost always a +1 or +2. Never a percentage. Ever. In fact, I think the only other time I've ever seen a percentage buff on a character on your side was the one time the color fixer guy actually joins you in a fight. So, also, he has a completely new coin type when you first get to use him, which are green coins, which are called excision coins, and they can break unbreakable coins. And basically,
What are
he-
unbreakable points?
I just explained the red coins that are unbreakable when you attack things and they're red. Never mind. Anyway,
The ones you can't parry?
yeah, the
Something
one
like
no,
that?
the ones that even if you break them, they still get used, but like weaker. And this
Oh.
this green coin breaks them whenever it's clashed against them.
Coins are so confusing.
So I'm starting to think that there might be one for you. Never mind. Anyway, basically, a lot of stuff is revealed in this. For example, he can use this thing called Shin and Meng, which is a really unique power system based on the light from the second game.
Don't drop your...
So basically-
you keep dropping-
when people become extremely disciplined and strong or something, they can basically add some kind of light to their weapons, which manifests as like rings of light. And the first time this is ever seen is in the Leviathan story, which is the manga I was talking about.
Saturn sword.
Yes. But basically the first time these are ever seen is in that manga thing, which is based on this color fixture guy. Which is the first time it's ever seen he's using it. I haven't read it, so I don't exactly know what it is yet. But basically it seems to exponentially increase the strength of the weapon it's used on. By like a lot. And this version of Sinclair can use 2 of them. Which is a insane amount. And this officially means he's at least as strong as the people who kill you in the first scene of the game. But yeah,
But
also...
that's not that strong.
Oh, no. I didn't think that first until I read his passives. Because his passives actually had little lore bits in them. One of them saying he actually had a color fixer title.
Oh my god.
The green one. He had a green... He was the green color fixer that was never had a color before. I never had a person behind it before.
Huh.
Yeah, he was called the Green Damnation. Which is at least not...
Envy?
Yeah, I think it is actually Envy. Yeah. How did you know that?
Green is envy.
Oh, yeah.
You-
Okay. Anyway,
That's so... I don't even
And
know
then,
how I know that or why
do you
I know that. I
remember?
just
Do you remember when I told you about the Smoke War? The war that formed the current Lobotomy Corporation, L-Corp? Like how they did a hostile takeover of it, the original one?
No.
Okay, so basically the Lobotomy Corporation was a group of random guys who did a hostile takeover of the old L-Corp in the first place. And that hostile takeover was called the Smoke War, and G-Corp was one of the corporations on the opposite side of them.
What's G-Corp? Geology?
No, G-Corp is from Canto 1, which is from Gregor's story. He's basically a guy with a bug arm, and the old G-Corp gave people insectoid augmentations, like prosthetics and stuff. And that's a whole other thing. But basically, his entire Canto is him having war flashbacks to the Smoke War. And so the Smoke War spawned these horrific monsters that made even color fixtures throw up from just looking at them. And were like actual mental biohazards, kind of. And basically, in Canto 9 of this game, when you read Sinclair's passives, he literally says he's from the Smoke War 2.
It's the second Smoke War or
Yeah,
Smoke
a second
War as
one.
well?
A second one.
Oh.
Which means that one happened in like at least 20 years from now, which
In
is
the future.
That is an insane sequel bait hook, but yeah. So
It should have been called something different then.
no, the second Smoke War. That's what it's called.
Yeah, but it should have be called something different. Not
Maybe they
Smoke.
do, or maybe he just mentioned it offhandedly.
Why is it
'Cause, like,
called the Smoke War?
because the entire area the entire area of L-Corp was covered in smoke because of the old L-Corp singularity, which made tons of smoke. Like, I think it might have been some kind of Silent Hill kind of smoke, too, because it generated a ton of monsters from that. Like, not abnormalities, but just regular-ass monsters.
Zombies,
No.
skeletons, creepers.
More like Eldritch Abominations, but yeah. There's a lot of Eldritch Abominations in this game.
Why do you say everything is an Eldritch Abomination?
Because a lot of the things in this game are Eldritch Abominations.
It's not answering my...
Oh, you mean
makes
what?
them-
Okay, are you asking what defines an Eldritch Abomination?
Well, you told me that, but
Okay, I
by
can
your
explain.
definition, I don't think any of them get... I don't think there can be that many.
There's so basically, my definition of an Eldritch Abomination is something that doesn't conform to normal biology.
It's non-Euclidean.
Yeah, like for example,
Oh, normal biology. I thought you said like normal physics, normal
both of those
existence, so
physics,
it can exist.
physics and biology. Like an Eldritch Abomination can be anything that has either a mental effect on people that look at it, or just doesn't conform to any normal biological standards. Like the
Oh, okay.
whales I was talking about from Canto 5
Okay,
don't
that's-
look like any kind of animal ever.
That's much less out there than I thought it was.
Oh, no, we're just getting started. There's a reason I'm actually calling them real Eldritch Abominations. Because they have an effect that is actually horrific. Where anyone that gets eaten by one of these whales gets turned into one of their thralls.
That makes a lot of sense.
Called mermaids. Which is a really ironic name for how fucked up these things look. Like, I literally can't describe how fucked up these things look. But like the very first one, which is the least disturbing one that I've seen so far that you look at, is a giant handful of giant, massive pulsing holes that are like dolphin blowholes that spew out bodies of these things connected to blue, fishy organ chains.
That's hot.
That is the least disturbing one.
That sounds like the pot guy in Demon Slayer. The pot.
I don't know what
one.
that means, but okay.
You've never watched it?
No, I've watched. Probably haven't watched up to that point because I only watched the first season.
Oh yeah. No.
But
And
anyway,
Phillips and I, she made me watch the entire
Oh my
thing.
God.
We haven't seen the movie yet.
But anyway, this story actually incredibly surprised me because to give you an idea, I have to explain the entirety of Ishmael's backstory.
Yes.
So basically, she used to be a corporate worker and hated her life, which is a very common theme in this story.
Very common theme in real life.
Yeah,
General.
except it's like way worse here actually somehow.
Oh.
Like it's like so bad that if you're a corporate worker, you might on the daily see someone carrying a sack of rotting human meat because of how many people get killed in the office every day.
Just another day.
Honestly, fair enough. But anyway, she basically decides,
Fair enough.
But anyway, she basically decides to leave to the Great Lake, which, unlike what I said before, I thought it was just U-Corp, but it's actually 5 entire districts, and that's how big it is. The entire Great Lake is like roughly spans 5 entire districts, and goes even beyond into the outskirts beyond the city, where even more horrific abominations are, apparently. And basically, Ishmael wanted to become a sailor, and she found a captain named Ahab, who is probably, I think he was the main character of Moby Dick, but it's a woman in this one.
Rehab.
Ahab. And she
Sounds like a Middle Eastern name.
and she is one of the best villains I have seen in a story in a long time. Because basically Ahab has this thing where she has the politician speech thing, where she can somehow convince people to do things like a lot, like insane amounts of things. Like she's got that Trump charisma.
I was gonna say we will build the best
No, that's
damn
literally
guns
no.
and then kill
she
people with
she
it.
like has the charisma of Trump, which I don't even think I ever want to say again. But
Yeah.
like she's got that kind of fanaticism that she can invoke in people. Because she can basically take one look at someone and see their entire life story from their facial expressions. Basically.
I see it in your eyes.
And she's basically really, really good at manipulating people. And you can actually see that through how her dialogue is written, too. Like, it's almost scary, like, how well this character is written.
Kind of like Sans.
No,
No?
she's actually even more manipulative. Like, it was to the point that in the first meeting with her, she does something completely insane, but I can't explain that first until I explain Ishmael's backstory.
Oh
So
my
basically,
God.
Ishmael joins Ahab's crew on the ship called the Pequod, I think it's called.
The Pequod.
The Pequod. It has a Q in it. I don't know how to pronounce it. But,
Pecad?
Pequod, I don't know. But anyway,
Picardo?
they're basically Ahab explains that her whole goal is to kill the pallid whale, which is one of these 5 massive whales. And remember, every time I say whale from now on, it's going to be in quotation marks.
Yeah,
Because these
it's-
aren't actually whales.
They're just figurative whales.
Except
like,
this one-
like
except-
beige whales.
Except the pallid whale actually does look like a whale, so... Yeah.
I can imagine.
Anyway,
Just sounds like.
there are these
more
5
whale
massive
people.
whales called the 5 calamities of the Great Lake. And they are all insanely dangerous and extremely powerful. And, like, you don't really get to understand what this means until you actually see one. But basically, her whole life goal is to kill this thing, no matter what. You don't actually get to learn why throughout the entire canto. In fact, I still don't know why. She doesn't get her backstory explained at all, which is really cool, honestly. But basically,
Mystery.
she is fanatically devoted to killing this whale. And the facial expressions they draw from her for her is really cool, because it really shows how insane she is. Like, whenever she talks about this whale, you can see her eyes bulge out like the psychopath look, you know?
What about her neck? Are there any veins?
No. You don't see any part of her neck.
Does she have titties?
No.
Did they have a right over that too?
No, okay. So basically, most
How to check.
characters in the city wear, like, suits and coats and stuff, even the woman. So most of them are just dressed like they're going to a dapper British party or something.
A business meeting.
And again, they don't put any emphasis on that weird shit.
It's not like that other game that had naked people
unless
in
there's
the streets,
actually
right?
unless there's actually a purpose behind it. But anyway,
Yes.
the whole
That's
thing
where babies come from.
is that you get a whole backstory section for Ishmael throughout the canto, where there's some things that happen. Like she starts out as a deckhand cleaning the ship up, and she slowly learns how insane Ahab is, because she seems to have a very insane obsession with sacrifice. Like, for example, if she was able to kill this whale, she would literally sacrifice everyone on her entire crew because it's worth it to her. Even if the
It's like
sacrifice
the opposite of what a good captain does.
Yeah. But she's so good at manipulating people that they all just believe whatever she says. Because
When was this game made? 2024?
no, like 2020. I think it might be 2022 actually.
You know what? That. Yeah.
But anyway, basically she manipulates everyone on the ship into going along with whatever she says. And then this character appears with the most ridiculous, unpronounceable name I have ever seen ever.
No, her
name is Queequeg.
Queequeg?
Queequeg. With 2 Q's.
Board Queen?
No, Queequeg. And she speaks like the Hulk.
This time I am
actually, she speaks like the Hulk crossed with a caveman. Like, I do thing. I drink water. I do this.
So basically, someone that came from China trying to speak
No,
English, except
it's
not
actually
in
way
an accent.
worse because she actually was.
You go. No.
She
Bad
actually-
hour. No hour. You go now.
She talks like that, but the story behind it's actually really sad. Basically, she
Brain
used to
damage?
be part of the middle finger.
And then she got middle fingered.
Yes. She basically actually became a great sister, which is like an even higher rank than the big brother, which is the kind of guy you fought before. The insane boss that looked like a peacock guy. Yeah. And basically, she left, but because she was such a high rank, they decided to let her off with just a warning instead of writing her name in the Book of Vengeance. And the warning was literally cutting out her tongue and making her almost unable to speak by almost severing her vocal cords. And ripping her throat out from the inside. And because of that, that's why she talks like a caveman. Because she can't make most syllables. So yeah, that's absolutely fucked. But she's actually really smart too. And basically she becomes Ishmael's best friend. And saves her from almost getting eaten by a whale.
Lesbianism.
No. They really are just really good friends, Jaden.
Okay.
In fact, there's this really sad moment in the backstory where the woman whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce is actually cutting herself, but not like a suicide thing. It's because everyone in the middle gets those magic tattoos I was talking about. And she's trying to rip out the tattoos so that she doesn't get recognized.
Huh.
But she can't because they're magic tattoos.
That sounds like House when he tries to get the cut the part of his muscle out of his leg that's hurting him so much.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, you should watch House MD.
Okay.
That's a really good show.
But basically, Ishmael sees what's happening, and they bond over how fucked up the world is, and seeing how beautiful the sunset is in comparison. And basically, she convinces the woman whose name must not be mentioned to stop hurting herself over it because she now has actual friends to live for and stuff. Really wholesome stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually, she saves Ishmael too from something really fucked up, getting eaten alive by whale oil. And
so,
because if a whale eats you, you turn into one of the monster thrall things. So
did you know that the son of one of our old presidents went to where a whale washed up on the shore, and then the whale exploded, and then he took this chunk of he took this whale head, put it on top of his fucking
yes
the car. And then in the car with it, where his kids were, all this whale juice was
Yeah,
spilling
I
into
know.
You cared about that? Of course
Yes.
you did.
The Great Whale Explosion incident.
Of 2000,
But anyway,
whenever.
I think it was 2008. But anyway.
Yes, of course it was 2008.
But anyway, at one point, Ahab basically finally gets to the pallid whale they were going after, and right before that, she throws one of her own crew members into the maw of a whale to turn him into a mermaid,
Bruh.
so that he acts as a motion detector for the whale, so that they can go to it, turning him into a living compass for it to return to it. Yeah.
Oh, that actually makes sense.
But basically, she still somehow convinces everyone what she's doing is right, and then they all fucking die against the whale. And I'm still wondering at this point, how the fuck did they die against a whale? If they survived that long in this insane sea, how would they all almost die?
Because they poked the bear.
No, more like they actually did mild amounts of damage to the bear and decided to kill them in revenge. To give you an idea now, the moment you actually see the pallid whale in the game when you are about to fight it, you thought it was an entire island archipelago, which was its hair follicles.
Archipelago? What's that?
It's like a series of islands connected together loosely.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
And that was the size of its hair follicles.
Yeah.
Like 2 of them.
Yeah.
And you just see this massive fucking eyeball rising out of the sea that is so big it covers the entire screen. And you have a really good shot of the characters on a little skiff boat in comparison, and they are literally less than 1% the size of the eyeball.
That's hot.
And so this thing is so absurdly massive, its eyeball is probably bigger than the Empire State Building.
Okay.
That's how ridiculous the size of this thing was. So, yeah, now I understand why all of those people died to it. Holy fucking shit.
You really love this game.
Yeah, it's insane. It keeps surprising me.
You should really record it.
And then, this whole image tells a really good story here, because as it rises out of the ocean, causing, earthquakes in the water,
Yeah, obviously.
you can see a massive scar, a gash about the size of its eye, right over its eyebrow. And then you can see Ishmael looking at that with a happy expression. And that just tells a whole story without even saying a single thing. Because that must have been the huge wound they actually left before they all got killed on that thing. And they don't have to say those, they don't have to exposit at you to tell you that. You just see that, and then you just see her smiling for the first time in the entire chapter.
I almost killed it.
No. It's more like she just remembered what her friend sacrificed to cause that wound.
Yeah,
And she was happy that it was still there and that it couldn't just heal it, you know.
She had an orgasm over it, yeah.
Yes. Actually, yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
Later on, you actually get eaten by the whale and have to travel through it, but there's actually a really powerful artifact in the main character's clock head thing that is preventing them from being eaten alive and melted into mermaids. Remember, quote unquote mermaids. And so you have to go through the entire whale's stomach.
That just reminds me of a Minecraft mod with giant worms.
And anyway, you eventually get rescued by people who were already palladified somehow, which is what they call what happened people who get attacked by the pallid whale. So basically, it is completely different from normal whales because it doesn't just turn you into a monster. When you get eaten by it, it slowly spreads this white membrane thing over your body that slowly integrates into your veins and just turns you into a walking corpse basically. And it's really, really fucking grotesque.
So it's like controlling fibers.
Kind of. It's kind of like Cobweb if it was way stickier and had red and blue veins going through it.
That's hot.
No. It's injected into their bodies too. It's
That's how babies
No.
are. That's how life is
But
created.
anyway, you get rescued by some of these people, even though they're supposed to be horrific abominations at this point, because their captain Ahab, who is somehow still alive inside
Captain
of the
A-hole.
whale. Inside of the whale, but she's still somehow inside the whale with the rest of the crew that survived.
Weird king, but okay.
They basically managed to somehow keep the effects of the politification at bay, somehow. And the crew and Ishmael have a really sad reunion where they're both like crying because of what happened to these people because they just look really, really fucked up.
Wait a minute. So the little paddle boat that they were on gets eaten by the whale, and then they discover that everyone's still alive in the whale.
Most of them, not all of them.
So.
And they have their
okay.
own little town made out of the remains of their boat, of the Pequod boat.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, but then
Not funny, but fun.
the literal instant Ishmael sees Ahab, she grins like a full slasher smile and instantly tries to stab her eyes out.
The fuck?
Yeah, like this is like the happiest expression that I've ever seen on this character's face ever. And she literally looks like she just got a PS5 on Christmas.
Is this
While saying
like
she's
Eclipse torturing your mom
No,
when
no,
you
no,
were in
this is
Big
like-
Bear?
this is just because of everything that Ahab did to her over her life, made it so that her entire reason for living was to kill her, and literally nothing else.
Wait, so the one that was who was the one that was
Ishmael.
stuck in the whale?
All of you are right now.
No, not right now. But who was found in the whale?
Ahab and her crew.
So Ahab had the smile.
No, Ishmael had the smile the moment she saw Ahab because she knew the one she wanted to kill was right there. Because it was like she dedicated her
Okay.
entire existence solely to killing this person. After basically she abandoned them all to die. The thing is, this is the first time you can see just how great at manipulating people Ahab is, because she says, "Oh, hey Ishmael, let's go kill the whale again." And
Oh my
when,
God.
of course, she gets more angry at her for it, she
Yeah.
says, "Hey, if you help us kill this whale, I'll give you my heart."
Lesbianism.
No, like literally.
Lesbianism.
Like she says that she'll let Ishmael kill her. And that is like the perfect explanation of Ahab's entire character. She perfectly manipulated Ishmael to actually work with her, despite wanting to kill her more than literally anything, because she dangled the only thing she wanted on a silver platter. And that's like exactly how she's treated her entire crew, by like dangling their dreams in front of them and never actually giving them to them.
Just another day at the office.
Like honestly, a really well written character. And then
Yeah.
after you basically take two separate routes to kill the heart of the whale. You might notice I said that twice, because this whale is so fucking massive. It has an entire second heart inside of its heart to make its actual heart able to pump enough blood to it. Which is some really insane fucked up biology, but it's really cool.
The square cube law.
More like heart cube. Wait, no, never mind. Anyway.
Maybe.
You have to take a whole path through cutting open arteries and stuff inside of the whale to get to the heart thing.
Yeah.
And the main character, for some reason, has the power to see visions related to the characters on his team. Sometimes, which is how you even see the backstory of Ishmael in the first place. And he, at this point, sees Ahab and her entire route through the whale when they both get to the heart. And he sees how she would literally kick a guy into a nest of mermaids just so that the rest of them can escape. Or literally chuck people into the jaws of their enemies so that they can all get a little bit further. And by the time they get to you and meet up with you, there is 3 of them left total. Out of the 30 of them that were there before. So yeah. And the others are still somehow...
It's the Kyle.
Dad is asking if you ever stop talking.
No.
It's only been an hour.
Only.
He went for a little bit longer when we were at the doctor's office.
I got something for Ryan.
What? No, I already have that
Where? I mean, what?
on my computer desk.
On your computer desk?
Don't go up there, Kyle, please.
Should I go look?
No, please don't go in my room, Kyle.
Help! Looking at me.
But yeah, that was a really good story. Because it ends with you killing the whale thing.
What?
Basically,
Fuck.
Can I keep talking? This
Thank
chapter
you.
ends with her having to make a choice
What? A choice to die?
Oh, shut up. between killing between
Yes.
stop! I'm almost done. Just so basically at the end
Yes.
of the four
Yes.
fate.
Keep going. Yes.
You guess?
Keys.
Nuts?
Then.
I was almost done, you know.
Yeah.
So at the end of the four-phase fight against Ahab, where she literally uses all of the remaining crewmates as arms by like physically morphing them into bones to use
Yes.
as arms. What?
You're dead.
She basically you have to basically what? What? So basically, Ishmael has to make a choice between killing Ahab or killing the heart of the whale, and the whole thing is you choose to kill the whale heart instead,
Nice.
Yeah.
and that's the end of that chapter.
Oh.
As the whale literally melts and explodes, because you see that only killing the heart wouldn't actually kill the whale.
Yeah.
AI Spock. You might be wondering how you survived against the middle guy
The middle finger?
when he gets to half health, even though he should have been killing you. Basically, a color fixer comes out of nowhere who is an old man and also a fisherman who basically eventually makes a plan with you to kill the whale. And that's where you lead to getting into the whale in the first place and doing all that shit. So when you kill the heart, at the same time, this old fucking man is soloing the whale by actually fighting it on the outside by himself in a teeny tiny boat. And he's winning. Do you remember how big I told you this whale was?
Are you winning, Pa?
Yeah. Do you remember when I told you how big this fucking whale is?
Yes.
Where one of its eyes are as big as like the Empire State Building?
Yes.
This old man is fighting it by himself from the outside on a boat.
When I am old and wise.
when you finally escape the whale, he just appears and tells you, "Oh yeah, I had to kill its brain." So he stabbed
course.
through its brain from the outside.
Oh no, my brain stem.
So yeah,
It's gone.
this old man is the OG. Anyway,
He's the OG.
but yeah, that's where that chapter ends, which is kind of insane because you want to know how this chapter begins?
Next time.
No, it's really quick. It begins with a comedy
Okay.
chapter where you have to just fight giant enemy crabs for like 4 hours to make a boat.
Why'd I have to ultrasonic cut his butt? No, I have to get an ultrasonic cleaner. I mean cutter.
Cleaner sounds even worse in that context, honestly.
It's like context.
Kyle, are you gonna fix the computer sometime?
It's right there.
Are you gonna set it up?
I don't feel like it right now.
I just realized I've been talking for a little bit.
You see this blade? It
Yeah.
vibrates super fast so it cuts through anything.
That's what she
That's.
said. I'm hungry now, man.
So I can cut through Ryan's belly and rip his intestines out. And make
Bruh.
Okay, so that is all for now. That's as far as I've gotten. Because the sheer emotional weight of going through all that last night, I actually just had to stop playing because of how much happened.
Yes.
But yeah. So what did you think of that?
That was mildly interesting.
Mildly. And apparently it gets even better from there with every chapter.
Yeah?
Yeah. But that was already peak fiction.
Okay, I have to go to bed.
What?
I have to go to bed.
Oh, aren't you gonna eat anything?
No.
Okay. Boy. Because he said so, dimwit.
Because I'm tired and I want to get sleep before I leave.
Yeah, the solution is fuck you.